Hello everyone, welcome to Dr. Yang's Business School 101. The idea of first mover advantage is similar to the old adage, the early bird gets the worm. Being the first company to enter the marketplace has such a strong correlation with the success. However, as with any strategy, being a first mover is not without its corresponding disadvantages. Knowing how to balance the benefits and downsides of performing as a first mover can help the company maximize its market share and revenue. In this video, I will explain what is the first mover advantage, describe the benefits and limitations of being a first mover, and provide successful examples of both first movers and late movers. Section 1. What is the first mover advantage? The first mover advantage is the benefit of increased brand recognition, customer loyalty, and increased sales that often accompany a business that is the very first to enter the marketplace with a new product. In most cases, companies achieve the first mover advantage through savvy marketing and advertising that positions their product not only as of the first in its field but also as the best option for consumers when competitors inevitably arrive on the market. Section 2. Benefits. Compared with other companies, first movers normally enjoy the following benefits. Number 1. Define industry standards. As the first in the market, your product and the manufacturing practices you establish will set the industry norms as other businesses enter the marketplace. Rather than relying on standards set by another company or working within the confines of a pre-established market, your organization will define the manufacturing and marketing practices for your segment. Number 2. Extensive supplier options. When your organization is the first in the marketplace with a new product, your company will often have an extensive list of suppliers to work with. You can negotiate exclusive contracts with the best manufacturers and other supply chain providers to ensure a cost-effective model that provides customers with a high-quality product. Number 3. Develop retailer relationships. You'll build excellent relationships with a wide range of retailers as the only company in the market with your product. The more popular the product is, the more stores will want to work with you and feature your product on their shelves. When competitors enter the market, you'll already have a solid position within the retail framework. Number 4. Secure governmental supports. As the first mover in a foreign market, the company will have a chance to build connections with local governmental officials and receive their exclusive endorsements. This is particularly critical when companies want to expand their business to some emerging economies, such as China, India, or Brazil. In these countries, the government still controls a significant portion of scarce resources, such as land, bank loans, subsidies, and tax breaks, and a firm's connections with government officials could offer shortcuts to these resources. Number 5. Increase brand recognition. Customers will quickly learn to associate your brand with your product since it will be the only one on the market. Brand recognition often leads to increased sales and the development of long-term customer relationships. Number 6. Improve customer loyalty. Some industries or products produce loyal customers due to the initial investment in the product. For example, if you sell computer software, it's unlikely a customer will switch to a competitor after installing your product because the time and expense of migrating digital systems are not worth any potential cost savings. Being the first to market increases this type of necessity-driven customer loyalty. Number 7. Establish economies of scale. Depending on the industry, the first few months of production can be costly until your organization has found the most efficient and economical way to manufacture your product and bring it to market. Being the first in the marketplace gives you time to mold your microeconomy and establish a cost-effective system before any competitors enter the sector. Section 3. Successful examples of first movers. First, Amazon. In July 1995, Amazon opened as an online bookseller, selling the world's largest collection of books to anyone with World Wide Web access. In the first 2 months of business, Amazon sold to all 50 states and over 45 countries. Within 2 months, Amazon's sales were up to $20,000 per week. By the time other retailers established an online bookstore presence, Amazon had already achieved significant brand recognition and parlayed its first mover advantage into marketing a range of additional, unrelated products. Today, Amazon has been referred to as one of the most influential economic and cultural forces in the world and is one of the world's most valuable brands. Second, Volkswagen. Volkswagen is a German motor vehicle manufacturer headquartered in Wolfsburg, Germany. It was also the first Western auto manufacturer to enter China and make a direct investment in 1985 by setting up a joint venture with Shanghai Auto Works and signing a 25-year contract to produce passenger cars. As the first mover, it not only enjoys a 20-year near monopoly in the taxi and governmental official fleet cars, but also builds a strong and reputable brand image in China. Until 2021, with over 2 million annual sales of vehicles, Volkswagen is still the best-selling brand in China's passenger car market, and China has become Volkswagen's largest market. Section 4. Limitations. Being a first mover is not without its risks. Companies should consider the following limitations before rushing to market. Number 1. Help competitors. The biggest and most prescient disadvantage of being a first mover is the potential advantage it offers to your competitors. For example, after examining your product, a competitor might be able to reverse engineer the work you've done and create a nearly identical product much more cheaply, potentially cutting into your customer share once your competitor takes their product to market. Number 2. Rushing design. To be the very first one to sell your new product to consumers, your company might rush the design and testing stage of product development, leading to a product that's not as optimal as slower-moving competitors' products might be. Number 3. High risk. Being the first to do something usually requires significant investments. This can mean there's less left for other projects and investments, putting the entire organization at risk. In addition, when you shake up an industry, you're bound to face resistance from lobbyists, politicians, and other businesses. Not to mention legal systems that might not even be ready for you. Number 4. Education costs. As the first company to introduce a new product, you'll likely spend a substantial amount of time and money educating your customers about the product, its uses, and its benefits. Competitors entering the market after you won't have to spend their marketing budget on education, potentially increasing their share of the market. Section 5. Successful companies that were not first movers. Listed below are 3 companies that were not first movers in their respective markets, but have now grown to become some of the biggest companies in the world. 1. Google. Before Google, there were search engines such as Yahoo and InfoSeek. However, Google was able to customize its search engine to perform more effectively and efficiently. During 2010 to 2022, Google controlled over 80% of search activity in the world. 2. Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines entered the airline industry as a late entrant, but was able to expand and become one of the largest airlines in the world in terms of the total number of passengers. The company focused on an area that other airlines were not looking at, the short-haul flights. 3. Starbucks. There were a lot of brands and places to buy coffee before the establishment of Starbucks. However, Starbucks was able to establish strong brand equity by placing an emphasis on making Starbucks the go-to place when you're not home or at the office. Section 6. Conclusion. To sum up, many companies and venture capitalists have invested massive amounts of capital and efforts to bring their products to market before competitors. This rests on the presumption that the first mover advantage is absolute. However, there are significant costs and even disadvantages associated with being first to market. The first mover advantage may be real, but its ultimate durability comes down to many factors, including the quality of the product, the pace of change, and a company's overall management. Don't make the mistake of devoting so many resources to being first to market that you leave yourself in a disadvantageous position. So, what do you think about the first mover advantage? Please leave your thoughts in a comment below. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.